My father is dying. Suddenly it hit me. At home, I booked a flight ticket online for 7:30, bundled some clothes and called a cab for Heathrow. Never before has Vienna felt so far away. December 19th. Once the plane prepared to descend towards Fiechat Airport, my stomach churned. It was not the altitude, but a sense of dread and agitation at the looming prospect. At passport control, the line for EU citizens, though longer than that for non-EU citizens, moved faster. The uniformed man behind the glass cubicle cast a quick glance at my Austrian passport. "Guten Abend," he greeted with a smile. I smiled back and handed him my passport. "Danke," he said, and asked the next passenger to come forward. That was it. Done. I detected a sense of pleasure and shame in me, stemming from the same place. The privilege of standing in that line. A line I occupied not for the merit of birth or marriage or my own effort, but because of the dreams, the wanderlust as much as the ignorance, of a stubborn boy from an Azerbaijani village in Iran. A man who now, 50 years on, was lying in a hospital bed in this strange land. He was not at the airport. Still, I felt his presence in the piece of paper I held in my hands, the piece that granted me the permission to move freely on Western soil. Quite an achievement for those like us. December 20th. A consultant, his assistant doctor, and a couple of juniors attended to us with the ward nurse. Baba was sitting upright in his bed, one hand on his oxygen mask and the other straightening his white blanket and smiling all along. "Tell him I can't eat. My mouth is dry." I translated his words. "The consultant says the medicines and the oxygen unfortunately dry out your mouth." "Ask him whether I will get better." "He wants to know the prognosis," I went on. "But I am certain you can't say anything yet." "He was very ill," the consultant said. "It will take some time before he responds to treatment." "Gut, Doctor. Danke, Doctor." Baba gave a gratifying smile and lowered his head in respect. Baba has always revelled in speaking the few German words he knows. "Do you think I'll come out of here this time?" he asked me after the doctors left. "You mean if you get better?" He nodded. "Yes, you will come out of here." His eyes were examining me. "Are you afraid of dying?" "No, I am not, Gizi. Not a bit. As we say in Iran, good deeds, good speech, and good thoughts. Only a name remains. It's a journey. There will be another life. One day we come, another day we go. December 27th. Baba has been moved into an isolation room since last week. His blood culture showed highly infectious bacteria. When I arrived, Baba was on the phone. "Abji, sis, I can't breathe, but merci for your phone call." He hung up and turned to me. "They all call me from Iran and ask me how I am, but I can't talk. My mouth is sore and I don't have the breath to talk. They mean it well, though. To me, these phone calls mean the world." January 2nd. My daughter, the nurse came and said something. I don't know what she wanted, Baba said a couple of days ago. I walked down to the nurse's station and talked to the consultant. I am afraid he won't improve any further than this. Now, Baba is home, His rectangular space is comprised of him, machines, and medicines. He is not a real doctor. He's a social worker, Baba said about Kurt, his palliative care physician. Still, he asked Mama to give Kurt pistachio nuts to take home. January 8th. When Ame Sarah arrived, she and Baba hugged each other and cried. "You look old," Auntie turned to me. "Last time I saw you I was 15, so I bet I do. How are you?" "Oh, what should I say? It isn't easy to see Dash Yusuf like this." Her eyes misted over. "In Iran, you have family and friends. You can tell them the tales of your heart. Here, one is alone. Loneliness is only meant for God." We sat there while his sister helped Baba to eat. January 12th. As I am writing these words, Mama and Amme have retired to the bedroom, and it is again Baba and I cloaked by darkness and silence. Baba's intermittent tossing in bed and the rapid movements of the chest wall unsettle me, but his death rattle is far more dreadful. January 13th. At 3:45 a.m, I rang Kurt for the third time. This time around, I didn't ask him for reassurance about the drugs I was pouring into Baba's failing body. Instead, I begged him, "Come here, please. He is restless." Within 20 minutes, Kurt was at our doorway. "Solmaz, it is the end. Can you please help me to wash him? He is drenched in sweat. I'd like him to look better before waking up my mum and aunt." Without saying anything, Kurt cleansed Baba's body, wiped it dry. Baba's breathing was now shallow and delayed, his face pale. "Let me bin the rubbish, and then we'll wake them." I assembled everything in a heap and carried it to the kitchen. "Solmaz," Kurt called. "He's gone." I ran back to Baba. Kurt stood behind me. Baba breathed out once. I bent over. "I love you." He breathed out once more. I brought my lips close to his and caught the next breath with a kiss. I waited for another breath. There was no more. I threw myself in Kurt's arms and sobbed. "Thank you."